how you change your life also. You change the waking hours of your day. You change the waking hours of your day. How many of you like to be specific and detail-oriented? Okay? I'm a big picture person, but let me show you something. This is my life from now till I die in specific and measurable detail. It's my, you know how people have a master plan for real estate? This is my master plan for my life emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, family, spiritually, social life, contribution, and career. I've been working on this for years. Every day, it's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. I spend 15 minutes a day on my laptop computer, and I make changes, I update, I put things on there, I make edits, all that stuff. And then every 30 days, I email Staples or Office Depot, and they print this off for me. I have pictures, right? Clara, my partner, this is in Vancouver, Kitsilano Beach, right? Personal chef. I used to have a personal chef. I want to get another personal chef when we moved to a new place, right? So the experiences, the feelings. I look at this every day. I carry this around with me. This is Bora Bora, Tahiti. We reserved this one right here. Very specific, very detailed. I look at this every day. I go to YouTube. I watch the videos. I feel what it's like to go snorkeling, scuba diving around here, what the smells would be like. This is us in Kitsilano Beach in Vancouver, right? People I've met. Bill Barman's a friend of mine. Some of you know Bill. He was the 25th wealthiest man in the United States. Bill Walsh, another good friend of mine. Brought him to Canada, introduced him to the Canadian marketplace. Bob Berg wrote the book called The Go-Giver. And then a guy had a major influence on my life who just passed away December the 5th of last year. Anybody recognize this gentleman? No. Jim Rohn. I was 22 years old, living in the treehouse. Somebody paid for me to go to a Jim Rohn seminar. I didn't have any money. And I met him that day. And I made a statement in my life that I would change my life to make a difference in the world. And so I look at things like that because you never forget where you come from. Does that make sense? People that have influenced my life, Vlado Forjak. This is a guy who's been with me since 1995, worked with me, always believed in me. So what I do is I hold those pictures to people. Lanny Stark, been with me since 2003, a great woman. And so that's what inspires me. Some of you said earlier, my gosh, you have so much energy. Imagine if you could wake up every day and you look at stuff that inspires you. Things that you know that you're making a difference in their life and they're making a difference in your life. Does that make sense? And so what you do is, you know, there's all kinds of, there's a program we just created, it's not out yet, 100 ways your kids can make money. You know, so this is a program, so when I see kids all the time, I show them, hey, look, you know, you want to be interviewed for this? And they get excited and stuff. But it goes on and on and on and on. There's all kinds of pages and stuff like that. Now, why do I do that? Because what it does, it basically says you're either on track or off track. Does that make sense? And because how many of you agree that we have a lot of distractions in life? A lot of interruptions. So I write a plan out and just start today. Start tonight with one page. Start with one line in a journal or a diary. Does that make sense? But start somewhere. Because a plan is a jumping off point. Does that make sense? It's a jumping off point to have a plan. Now, am I going to achieve all things in this master plan? I don't know. I'm not attached to the outcome, right? But the thing is that I'll give you an example. I'll show you, here's pictures of the treehouse, right? I lived in because I go back. See, sometimes I have major successes in my life, and I start to get cocky. I start to get ego, and I go back and I thought I gotta be balanced. I gotta be humble. So I go back to saying, you know what, Darren? Remember where you come from. Remember where you were. So when you meet somebody and you're riding high, you're on the peak and they're in the valley, you remember where you were. Does that make sense? So you remember those things because otherwise you can get caught up sometimes. So I go back and I look at this all the time. And then below I put where the mansion was. We were in the Bahamas in February. And this is a picture of a yacht that I took a picture of this guy's yacht. He's, you know, one of the wealthiest men in Russia. But also, you know, I always wanted to go see the Atlantis in the Bahamas. So this is like my vision board. So I took this picture, right? But a couple of years ago I had my vision board and I said someday we're going to go to the Atlantis in the Bahamas. Well, Claire and I were on Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines on February the 14th of this year. We docked in Nassau, Bahamas. We were sleeping when we arrived. I opened up the windows, the blinds, and there was the picture outside of our cruise ship. I started to cry. And Claire says, what's wrong? Are you all right? I said, you won't believe what's out in front of the cruise ship right now. And she goes, what? And I said, what I took a picture of out of a magazine a couple years ago. Does that make sense? So you want to take pictures of your children, your grandchildren. You know, a lady in the room, she got a big sale today, right? You want to mark that. You want to take a picture of yourself, and you want to put it in your book. And so when you walk around, you can experience it and feel it, so you know what it's like to have that win. Because what creates a big problem? Lots of little problems. What creates a big win? Lots of little wins. So if some of you tonight, you're prospecting, meeting people, you want to get base hits. So you use the analogy like baseball, you just want to get a base hit. Sometimes we get focused on the grand slam or the home run, but you just want to get base hits. Some of you are single, you're looking at dating, just get a base hit. Maybe it's just walking up to a woman and saying, "Hi, my name is so-and-so." And that's a base hit. Does that make sense? It's nothing you have to get a phone number or go on a date. It's just a base hit that you're making a connection. If some of you in this room are a little bit more introverted and you're like, "Oh gosh, for me to walk up and speak in front of this room or walk up to a complete stranger, I can do that." Just go for a base hit. Just go for a button. Just walk up and say, "Hi, my name is Darren." Even if you're nervous or scared. And just acknowledge that, because here's what I'd like you to write down. What gets rewarded gets repeated. What gets rewarded gets repeated. How many agree with that statement? What gets rewarded gets repeated. Yes. So you want to catch people doing things right. Start catching yourself doing things right. What is it that you really want in your life? You can tell me something. What is something you really want in your life?
Help as many people as I can.
Okay, and what would that feeling or experience be like for you by doing that?
Oh, very rewarding.
Can you stand up for a moment? Okay. So it'd be very rewarding. So explain to me more about what that experience would be like for you, helping lots of people, and what that experience would be like for you.
That I've actually accomplished something while I've been on this earth to be able to touch someone else's life.
Yeah. And how would you know when you touch their life?
Well, if it was making their life a lot easier, and the feedback that I am getting from them, or to see some of the things that they're being able to accomplish, then I feel like I've done my job.
And what would that experience do for you?
I don't think I actually could put that in words. It would just be, I would just feel so blessed.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right on. Someone else, what would that be like for you, that experience? To touch somebody's life, to make a difference. Right? You feel that. Here's another thing. Why don't you start creating a dream team? You know what a dream team is? Who can tell me what a dream team is?
Team of people to pitch for you.
That's right. You work together as a dream team. What happens when you want to quit? Right? What happens when you have a bad day or a down day? That's right. You're going to want to quit. I've wanted to quit. Absolutely. I've had adversities, challenges, setbacks, you name it. Right? All kinds of stuff. Right? I've been going down in a plane on a plane crash. I know what that's like. I know it's like when people do not comply to rules and regulations on an airplane because they're fighting for their life. I know it's like when people pick up all the phones on the plane. I've been involved where we're going down. And fortunate enough, we were able to, not crash. But they foamed the runways and all the emergency vehicles, all that stuff. I've been through there. I have been through life and death situations, and I know it's just like that. It's a heartbeat and it's gone.